Everybody, and welcome to the Team Bling Breakout webinar. We put this webinar together because we want to show you ladies what you have to do to kick the doors off for 2015. This is your year, and you got to make it happen, and you got to make it happen this year, and we know that you can do it. So we're going to take this time, give you a few little nuggets to help you get started in the 2015 year. So I want to introduce first my upline black sponsor, Kenisha Morrison. Hey, Kenisha, can you hear me, hon?
I can. Hey, Deshawn, how you doing?
Good. Tell everybody about yourself, when you got started.
I am Kenisha Morrison. I signed up September 4th, 2013, and it took me exactly a year to get to black status. I hit black in September 30th of this year, right after conference. I have all these beautiful ladies that are on this call. All of them are somewhere underneath me, whether first, second, or third gen, and I'm just honored to be here with you guys to have this meeting. The main thing that came to my heart when it came to me right after my birthday was everything that I've accomplished means nothing if I can't share it with you guys and shed some spotlight, because I can't be black without any of you. So it's all about you and giving back to grow us and grow the company.
Thanks, Kenisha. Next, I want to introduce Jennifer Hagan Meyer. Did I say that right, Jen?
That's correct.
Okay, Jennifer Hagan Meyer. She is an orange presenter from Pennsylvania. Tell us about yourself, Jen.
Hi. Well, thanks so much for having me on this call, first of all. I started 10 months ago, and I just became orange last month. So it's just been really awesome. I'm doing this together with my sister, and I just love the company so far.
Great, great. The next young lady that I'm going to introduce is Emily Manley. I got a chance to hang out and clown with her in Dallas, Texas. We had a really good time.
Oh, we had a great time.
Yes,
can't wait for next year. You know, it's going to be so much fun.
I know. I'm excited. I cannot wait. Emily is a green out of Columbus, Ohio. Tell everybody about yourself, Emily, when you got started.
Sure. Well, okay, so I've been with Younique since last February, and I hit green status a few months ago and have continued to do that to hit that rank. Let's see. Before that, I have spent 10 years in the new build industry, and I'm also a realtor. So customer service and just really, having those deep connections and relationships, I'm like a firm believer that is what grows your business. And so I've kind of been able to pull that from a lot of different areas in my life.
Okay, thank you, Emily. And we have our cross-line sister. We always love to have her on. She always has great advice. Welcome, Brittany Kaplan, to the call. Hey, Brittany.
Hi, guys. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome.
So, let's see. November 15th is my one-year anniversary with Younique, and I do anything for Kenisha. So if Kenisha says I have to be on a call, I'm there. So I'm here.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. We're going to go ahead and jump right into the calls. We're into the questions. We're excited to get you ladies this information. So Kenisha, I need to hear from you how you reached black status. On our last webinar, you were purple. You had been purple for some time, and boom, you kicked the door open on black status. How did you make that happen?
I decided that I wasn't going to miss it another month. I was purple for 9 months. My numbers were always there, but I was always just a couple thousand short from hitting the mark. And September 28th, it was kind of like a come to Jesus meeting that I had. My numbers were showing that I could have been there, but it was kind of like, well, it's only 2 days left in the month. I don't know if I should try to go forward, if I shouldn't. My fourth green was Adriana, and the backstory about that, I had always told Adriana that she would be my fourth green. I just knew it from the day she signed up on my team. So I messaged her, asked her was she willing to run with me, and her beautiful sister Jennifer backs her sister and everything. So when Jennifer said yes, when Adriana said yes, Jennifer said yes, and they loaded up their guns and they went to war, and they recruited 36 people in 48 hours. And I felt like if they were willing to run with me and not give up, that I had to meet them there. So I promised her she was going to be green, and as her sponsor, that was my responsibility to make sure that we did that. We were on three-way calls all day long. Anyone that was willing to get on the call with me, we did it. New recruit trainings, the Team Bling training website came up the same time, so everyone had more of a duplication system that was able to go. So everyone's goal was just to get them to yellow. If you could just get 3 or 4 sales that day, that would move everyone up. And it was definitely a teamwork. We didn't even sleep for those 48 hours. Adriana was going to sleep, and I was getting up at 3 o'clock to help her get some sales. It was all about really teamwork.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I was watching from my computer and messaging, and it was like I was on pins and needles. I was up to the wee hours in the morning, and hundreds of women were up just to watch it happen, and it was crazy. It was awesome to see everybody pull together to see what they could do to raise the, and the thing is, if everybody does a little bit, then that's going to boost up everybody. Everybody doesn't have to carry the whole burden on their back. Everybody just do a little bit, and that's what happened. And Kenisha hit black, and it was awesome. But I want to ask Jennifer, you know, you and Adriana added 36 people in 2 days. I mean, that is crazy. Can you tell everybody how you did that? We need to know.
I know.
I think really it was just about planting the seeds along the way and kind of just getting that platform ready to go, and it just all worked out in the end. Towards the end, when it was actually like the last minutes, we got on the call. We literally did not sleep. We went to bed at 1 in the morning. We woke up at 6, 5 o'clock in the morning. We got on the phone with people. I really believe that adding that personal touch and reaching out to people through the phone is the best way to just kind of seal the deal. It just gives that more intimate setting, and people can actually be reassured by hearing what you have to say over the phone, and also they sense your excitement, and I definitely think that's contagious, and pretty much they want to be a part of what you're so excited about. So that's how we did it.
So did you and Adriana talk? Did you say, hey, look, we're going to do this right here, or you just started working?
No, absolutely. Her and I are like, we work together very closely. I definitely recommend, you know, pairing up with somebody, whoever it is, even if they aren't on your team, just reaching out to them and holding each other accountable. We definitely push each other each day. If I'm feeling down, then she's up, and vice versa. So I think that just having one another and being sisters in real life, and why sisters in general, you don't have to have your real sister, but whoever it is, just feeding off of one another's energy has really, I feel like, given us the success that we need to run a good team and to just succeed ourselves.
Okay. Emily, I got a question for you.
All right.
For 2015, why is it so important for the ladies to plug into the training, the conference calls? Certain people have training websites. What's so important about plugging into the system and getting all the training you can?
Sure. You know, I think that is kind of, you know, the key to that, like, very early, you know, presentership, so to speak, right after people sign up. You know, I think they get, you know, real pumped up, and, you know, maybe they don't realize that, you know, mascara sales aren't just, you know, falling in our hands. I think, you know, there's probably, you know, some people won't do it and some people will, and if you're willing to do it, you have to do the training. Any job you have, you're going to have training. And you want to treat your Younique business just like that. You know, it's if that's what you want, if that's your goal. You know, and that early training is really what's going to, you know, help you, you know, get those few sales, start that circle, that sphere of influence. It's about a gradual progression. It's not like, oh, you know, let me get to black in a month. You know, it's progress. You know, maintaining that and being persistent and not giving up and not taking days off, you know, because I did that for the last, like, several days this month, and it's nobody's fault but my own if my numbers aren't high, you know, for that time period. So it's like you always, you know, have to have an open mind, be willing to take advice, and I just think that if you really just listen and just do what, you know, your upline is telling you to do, you're going to duplicate exactly what they did. So I think it's just really important to kind of, you know, attach onto that early on, that sort of mindset.
I remember when you actually started using the training. You posted it in Team Bling. You was like, if you guys just use the scripts that Kenisha give us, I promise it works. I brought in 10 people.
Seriously. I went to convention, I got so pumped up there. It was like fantastic meeting all of these people that, you talk with all the time. And, I was determined. I was pink when I went there, and I go, I'm going to get green. And sure enough, I recruited 12 people, and then, I got blue, then green, bam, that next month. So it's really momentum, mindset, positive thinking. And the other thing that I always love to put in there is just, you got to maintain that, positive image, I think, making sure that you're, consistently, being positive, like, and not doing like the posts on, Facebook where it's, oh, woe is me. You just have to maintain that happy and positive, outlook and mindset.
I also think it's important for people to take advantage of the training because your leaders work hard to provide the training.
Right.
Leaders put training in place so that, the bottom line is, if you're going to be a leader, you're going to have to train your people. You can't just sign people and say, welcome to the group, and then just leave them to fend for themselves. You have to get some kind of organized training. If you do Google Hangouts, I don't care if you do a conference call with just 3 people. I've done a Google Hangout training with just 2 people. You got to get your people trained. You cannot leave them out there to hang dry. It's not fair. It's
right.
Not
and I think it's that mindset. Just really like, what is your goal with this business? Is it to have business, or is it just to get a discount on the product? First you have to establish that, and then if you find someone, then their actions need to match up with that goal. And I think it's just perspective and just really trying to be open-minded and changing that perspective of what we think. How this goes. That mascara sales just fall in our lap.
Right, doesn't happen. Hey, Brittany, the queen of branding. I'm going to ask you probably this question on every webinar because it's so important. I'm telling you to step outside, away from the pack. You got to step out and identify yourself as a leader. Why is that so important, the branding, Brittany?
I feel like it's important because, Younique is such a big part of all of our lives. But again, it's only a piece of us too. Younique is not who we are, and you have to kind of step outside of the box. You have to try to say, okay, what makes me different from all 100 and I haven't even checked how many we have at this point, 150,000 presenters. I don't want to be like every single presenter. We're all individuals, and we all have strengths and weaknesses, and we have to kind of play up on those. I love to be that person that they're like, when they hear Team No Sleep, they think Brittany Kaplan, or they hear Lash Dolls, they think Brittany Kaplan. They're just little things. It could be something, as small as the hashtag Team No Sleep, or, when they think of unicorns, they think of me. You just have to kind of just put things into play that say, okay, this is what's going to establish my business outside of everybody else's, so that when little things happen, your name and your face kind of are attached to those things. And it's so important to get your business to that next level by doing just small things like that, so that you can take your business and say, okay, I have this monster of machine of a team. What am I going to do with them? And you can use that for training. You can use that to, brand yourself, brand your team as a business, brand any of your trainings that you have. And I just, that's what I've been running with and trying to just tell my team to do the same thing as well.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I love your positive. Well, and when I look and I think about all of your pages on Facebook, I don't know that we've really connected yet, which we should. But I just think of positivity. You guys all have that, that attitude. And I think that is so key. Just really.
It is. It is. Kenisha, believe it or not, some people don't know what it takes to get to the next rank, and I know exactly what it takes. Not by heart, but I can look and see where I need to be to get to the level that I want to be. Tell everybody what kind of numbers you have to reach black. Just a small little training. I know this is a mindset session, but just so people will have an idea of the kind of numbers that they would need. Tell them what they need to get to black.
You need to have a company sales of 80,000 and 4 green under you and 4 people that have sold 125 for the month. So I always just suggest to my girls, aim high. don't depend on just 4, because one, like this month for me, one of mine won't hit. So just make sure that you always know where you are numbers wise. So if you're going for 4 green this month, shoot for 5. So if you hit 4, you still went towards the goal that you were trying to get to. To get 80,000, obviously that's going to take dedication. You have to build up to that, and doing the daily bite steps that it's going to take for you to get there. So if you're pink now, how many people a month are you talking to grow to your business for next month? What are you doing today that is going to help you achieve your tomorrow? I always recommend to my girls, add 5 people a day. It keeps the commission checks coming your way. And that's 150 people a month if you're doing your 5 people every day.
Mm-hmm.
And if not, that's your own responsibility. You can't depend on other people to add to your network. This is a networking business. If you're not adding people to your network, your net worth will not grow.
Right, right. Emily.
Yes, dear.
You added 12 people in 1 month?
Yes. Yeah.
That's like awesome. You need to tell us how you did that. I want to know.
Yeah, I really, again, I just, you know, I know that the policies are a little bit stricter now than I think when that was going on. It was before a lot of the changes took place, you know, 'cause now there's a little bit more restriction on what you can say, but yeah, I really feel like it was just that attraction, you know, just trying to post and network, you know, finding what someone's, something that somebody wants and trying to, you know, offer them something to satisfy that need, you know, just really trying to attract people via, you know, social media. And I that's really what worked for me. And I also took Brittany's, the Instagram course.
Oh, yes, absolutely. That was awesome.
Yeah, I took that one during that time, and I'm telling you, oh my gosh, I got so many more people. It was just ridiculous.
Right.
Yeah, that really did work, so thank you.
Okay, Jennifer, how do you find people to recruit via social media? What are the top 3 platforms you use for social media to find people to recruit?
I like Facebook first and foremost, but I've also used YouTube, I've used Instagram, I've had success with both of those. I also actually love vendor events. I love personally connecting with people. I have a makeup play date at my house about once a week. I'll just reach out to somebody through Facebook or Instagram, probably locally people, and they'll come over and we'll just play with the makeup, and that right there will sell them either the product or the opportunity. So I just like really being personable and connecting with them like that. So that's worked out great for me so far.
Okay. Brittany, tell us why it's important to be clear on your goals, to have a clear set path for your goals.
So I truly believe when you sit down and you write your goals, and they have to be very specific. Otherwise, if they're not clear cut, you kind of deter off of, you know, where you're going. If you have a clear cut image and a space that you want to end at, it helps you go from saying, okay, I can do all of these things and kind of go on this windy road to get to that end. I mean, as we know, success is not straight. It has loops and turns and dips and, you know, peaks and valleys. But when you really say, okay, this is where I want to be, this is my ultimate goal, then you can kind of weed out your actions and your steps that you're putting behind that to get to your goal at the end.
Okay. Kenisha, tell us what makes Younique such a unique opportunity. UNIQUE, but what makes us different than everybody else?
The love that Derek and Melanie has for us. They really want us to succeed. At the end of the day, Derek could have retired a millionaire, could have never worked another day in his life, but he chose to reinvest his money and to give other people the financial freedom that he attained for himself. And Melanie is so product savvy, fashion savvy, in the know, in the how, in the wow, because she's beautiful. So she uses that. She leverages that to help other people to feel as beautiful as her. The fact that we're paid every 3 hours, I don't know any other company that does that. I know that they do like every day, but not every 3 hours. And just the love that they have. I've made genuine lifetime friends. Younique or no Younique, we'll always be friends because that's what this company has given to me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Emily.
Yeah.
What should a young lady do who's having a problem with her confidence? She's not feeling good about herself or feeling like she can approach people. What can she do to help build her confidence?
Right, right. You know, that's something that I think, you know, I even still struggle with, you know, certainly at times. But, you know, there's a couple things that work really well for me. And one would be fake it till you make it, you know, because
Absolutely.
honestly, I really feel like that, you know, that works. And if you're not feeling confident, then there's probably something that you can do more, you know, to build that, because confidence comes from getting sales and, you know, hitting ranks and being successful and, you know, getting results. You know, that's where the confidence comes from. So if you're not, you know, getting there by calling and networking and doing parties and trying to get people to join you, then, you know, maybe you need to reevaluate some of your plan, essentially. You know, but I go through that all the time. Like sometimes, you know, I'm like really confident and I'm going for it, and then there's other times where you're just kind of like, you know, in a rut. So, but I just think that, you know, you really just need to go back to the basics. You know, why aren't you feeling good about your business? You know, what can I do differently? You know, I think maybe probably reevaluating it, maybe setting some new goals. You know, maybe something's not attainable. Maybe, you know, there's always ways to correct that. But yeah, I think it's through action and, you know, brainstorming, finding other routes.
I would add to that too. I went to a conference last year, and as you guys know, it took me months to learn how to blitz and actually be confidently to be able to do it. It scared the Jesus out of me. I could push you to do it all day long, but as far as me doing it, I couldn't do it. And I went to this conference, and the exact words that the lady said was, "You are fearfully and wonderfully made in God's image." So every time that you are fearful and you can't say that you can't, or it's not possible for me to do it, or it's not for me, you're saying that God can't, because he made you and there's no limits on him. So you're putting limitations on what he can do for you every time you allow your fear wall to go up, because he's already said we won the battle. We already won.
Right.
So it's just for us to do the work. Faith without work is dead. So I love faith it till you make it, because planting your seeds and watching them grow is how you become successful.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Jennifer, tell everybody what we need to do to build relationships with people.
I would definitely suggest thinking about what you can do for them rather than what they can do for you. If you have that kind of mindset, you're definitely going to go further. I like what Kenisha had said before, reach down to go up. I absolutely believe that is 100% why I've gotten to where I am at all. You know, definitely don't look at people for what they can do for your company or anything like that. Try to find what their why is and what it is exactly that they are in this for, whether it is the sisterhood or if it's the money or if it's the recognition. Cater to that, because I've got all kinds on my team. Some that are just here as cheerleaders and others that actually want to have that millionaire type of lifestyle in the end. So I like also just run with the runners and walk with the walkers. I really find that, you know, I can't want it more than my team. So the ones that are there and showing up for the calls and who are there reaching out to me, those are the girls that I kind of go forward with. But at the same time, I make sure to reach out to the girls that are not coming forward, because I do realize a lot of these girls, they're shy and they're worried about, you know, bothering me. So I want to make sure that I say to them, hey, I'm here for you. If you need help, don't worry about it. I'll get on the call with you. I want to make sure that they know that. And once they know that, I see that they start to progress. So I really make sure that I have that relationship with my girls, and then I have the relationship with my prospects as well. I don't want them to think I'm just inviting them over for a makeup play date, they bought stuff for me, or they signed up and bye, I'm never going to talk to you again.
Right.
I make sure I comment on their post. I wish them happy birthday. I say I saw you were sick. Checking in with them. I'm not always just unique.
Right.
So definitely establishing relationships is so, so, so important in the industry.
Absolutely.
Okay, Brittany. Let's say I'm a new person. I've never been in network marketing and direct sales before. What should I start doing? I joined Younique and I have absolutely no experience. Tell me some things I should start doing.
So what I tell my girls when they first sign is you need to sit and figure out what your why is, because without your why, you have no driving force behind you. You're basically just putting actions into play and you're going to just run all over the place. You really don't have a purpose. The second thing is find an accountability partner, whether it's somebody on your team, your sponsor, your upline, just another Younique sister. It's so important to be able to bounce ideas off of each other and say, okay, this is what my goal is, and let's hold each other accountable, let's check in. And then the third thing is stay in contact with your sponsor, with your upline. Some of us, we have hundreds and thousands of girls underneath us, and as much as we try to be there for each and every one of them, plus, our second, third, all the way down to our 10th sometimes, we are just one person, and, we're humans, we make mistakes too, and, our time gets spread thin, so sometimes you have to be the one to just kind of step forward and say, hey, I have a question about this, or, do you think that we could do a 10-minute power call? My team loves the 10-minute power calls. But definitely keep in contact with people, because sometimes we think, we look in our back office and you're doing great, we don't think that you need us sometimes, so we might not check in with you as often as girls who are maybe struggling and don't have any numbers. So, find your why, accountability partner, and just keep in contact with your sponsor or your upline at all times.
Okay. And we're almost done. I just want to ask Kenisha, because I've seen it, and it's important for everybody to know. Some women are trying to juggle 2, 3 other businesses along with their Younique business. How can they do it? Is it possible?
When I came to Younique, I was still doing wholesale T-shirts. I was in another network marketing group, and I was trying to do boutique clothes. And none of it was working. I was spread out too thin. It's the shiny ball syndrome. You're here, there, and younger trying to figure it out. And to me, it's no way to balance all the 3. Because if you're really being full in with family, full in with Younique, full in with yourself, because you should be doing your personal development and working on yourself every day, there's no way you can continue to do all 3 and be successful. Now, if you want to be a hustler, that's different. But a business person knows they can't do that. You got to focus and grow one thing. But hustlers, they can do everything. They got their coat and they got everything all in here for you. And that's exactly where you're going to stay as a hustler.
Right. And I think it's about your goals, because, for some people, maybe their goal isn't black status. Maybe, there could be other goals where, maybe somebody does have another business. Maybe me. Well, because for me, I love Younique so much, but I've been in the, real estate market for a decade, and I'm a realtor, so that's really, I do struggle a little bit with that, and I will completely agree with Kenisha. It's like you do get spread thin. So yeah, 2015, I think for me is going to be like, I need to do some, my goal is to kind of organize my life, figure out my priorities, maybe reestablish goals. And I think that's something, just when Brittany said it, writing it down and, having that account, I love that. I'm totally going to do that for sure.
Okay. So the last question I'm going to ask everybody, as I always do, we're going to close out with some final thoughts. And let's start off with Jennifer. Jennifer, what are 3 goals that you have set for 2015?
I would like to, of course, turn black status. I'd also like to take my family on a trip that I've paid for exclusively. And I would like to, when I was a kid, my dad had sponsored a child in another country. And I thought that'd be cool if I could do that and, again, establish a relationship with somebody that I could grow with, because I know my dad has done that with a little girl. Her name was America since I was a child. And I think he's still doing that, getting Christmas cards and sending gifts. So I thought I'm going to start that here this next year coming up.
Okay. If anybody wants to ask questions too, you can ask on the Google Plus side. I don't see any coming in just yet, so tell me who you want to ask the question to, and what the question is. Okay, Emily, what 3 goals do you have set for 2015? What are you gonna do?
Right. For 2015, you know, like I kind of think I touched on it a few minutes ago, but just I think for me it's going to be, you know, really establishing some new goals, you know, in terms of priority. Like, you know, what am I wanting, you know, because I love Younique, you know, so I'm gonna have to do some balancing there. I think, you know, that's for me at least.
Okay.
So I don't have specific goals yet, but I know I need them.
Okay, you still got a little bit of time. We're not in 2015 yet.
Right.
But hurry up and get it done.
What do I have to, like, put them under my pillow on the 31st? Or?
Oh, that works. Don't be.
Oh, no.
Hey, it works. Okay, Brittany, what are 3 of your goals for 2015?
3 of my goals for 2015 is Black status for sure. I have my eye on the prize. I am team no sleep until I have to be at this point. Another goal for me is definitely work more on my branding as far as completely stepping into my own. I feel like 2014 was huge for me as far as like finding myself and my own voice, so I definitely want to work more on that. And then my last goal would be I would love to turn into, you know, like a coach at some point, whether it's, you know, business or personal, you know, a motivating speaker, whatever that might be for me. I'm open and willing and ready to run with it.
Okay. Kenisha, boss lady, what you doing for 2015? I want to be like you when I grow up.
Me too.
I want to use Deshaun's calendar training. I'm ready to get in grind mode. So that's where I'm at. I feel like 2014 was a growth spurt for me and who I was. And when I hit black, it wasn't what I was expecting or what I was feeling inside that it would be when I got it. But I'm learning, watching my girls grow. That's my heart. So one of my goals is to have 30 personal from my Team Bling circle page. I want them to all go for green and achieve the goals that they have. And I actually did a video on it that I'm only really willing to run with the willing. I said that I wanted 20 people, and I've had several come to me, but I know who I'm looking for, and I was like, hey, I've tried to give you stuff before, and this was not completed. I think me and you should do some one-on-one things. I don't think that this crunch time 20 people training is for you. And that's where I'm at, identifying where everyone is and growing with them where they are. I learned a lot of heartache this year trying to make it to where my goals for them weren't their goals for them. So I'm learning that the expectations for people is off and just really releasing who Kenisha is. Mm-hmm. I would say branding. So if that was all over the place, I want to have 30 personals. I want to have that are green, know their abilities and where they are, and to grow them.
Okay. We got a couple of questions. First question is for Brittany. Brittany, Jennifer Kaufman would like to know more about recruiting and how can she get your Instagram training?
So the Instagram training I'll post on Kenisha's event page. I have a call that I did with my sponsor, who's Cindy Brancato, when I was pink status, and then I also have 7 daily tasks that I used to train. Yeah, 7 daily tasks.
I love that one.
Really,
yeah.
It's not fully Instagram, but I think a lot of people liked that one too. It kind of touches base on emailing and the personal touch and the text messages. So I can post that on there on the event page so that you guys can have access to that. As far as recruiting, I'm a big law of attraction. You know, you put it out there in your universe, you think the positivity. That's honestly how I've recruited. I just told my team like a couple of weeks ago, for the first time ever, I actually reached out to somebody and said, I think that you would be great for this. And she signed. And I was so nervous, and I was like, why am I so nervous? Like, I love to talk to people, but I had realized that that was the first person that I had ever, like, really reached out to and said, hey, you know, would you be interested in this? Because all of my recruits have been just basically, you know, planting the seed, the law of attraction, you know, attracting, you know, what you want in your life and in your universe.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. Got another question. Kenisha, I'm going to let you answer this question. They didn't say. It's from Sally Louise. And she said, how do I specifically coach? I know how to uplift and encourage, but how do I get my team to duplicate what I do?
You have to organize that training for them. What are the steps that you do so you can give it to them so they can do it too?
Like the 7 daily tasks.
Or like if you add your, like you do your 5 people a day, you have a specific script that works for you. If you're doing your 3 or 4 postings a day on your personal page, if you're actively marketing and adding to your network, all those things, your team needs to know what you're doing. My girls know what I do every day. It's a spreadsheet in there, and I have to go through my 30 minutes personal development, added 5 people today. Use the scripts from Kira Cloyd, use script from, like I track, and I also use my daily tracker, showing my 5 page, and they can ask me anytime, hey, can I see your sheet? It has the day I met the person, and when I followed up with them, and when I finally closed the deal, and if I ever closed the deal, when I followed up again. Everything that I've ever done is a paper trail. Half of the battle is having it written.
Right. Okay. This one is for Brittany. Brittany, what is a 10-minute power call that you do with your team?
Okay, so 10-minute power call is my girls, they schedule a day and a time for me, and we're over the phone. We have 10 minutes, and they have 3 things that we have to go over. The first thing that they go over is what their current routine is. I'm sorry, first thing is any questions. So any quick questions that they have for me, they get them out, they get them answered, that's done. Second thing is what their current routine is. And the reason that I ask them for their current routine is because I want to make adjustments if needed. Sometimes your sponsor, your upline can see strengths and weaknesses that you might not be able to see in yourself. So I have them tell me what their routine is. I tweak it. If they're having problems with time management, I tell them how that they can adjust their current routine for their business so that it works with their schedule. And then thirdly, I have them set goals with me that they have to check in within 3 days after us speaking, and they need to have a weekly goal, an end of the month goal, and then the next monthly goal every single time that we talk. So they'll check in with me like a week or 2 later, and you know, based on what their routine has produced with the new tweaks, sometimes the goals change, and that's perfectly fine. You know, it's constantly just tons of imperfect steps and actions that get you forward. Everything doesn't have to be perfect.
Right. Right. Okay, ladies, I want to thank you so much for joining me on this call. I love you all. We always have so much fun when we're on this webinar. Of course, I want to end the call with 3 little points I want to make. The first one is we're going into 2015. Don't associate with the dream killers. Don't tell, if you know that every time you tell somebody what you want to do, they're like, oh, that's not going to work. Just don't tell them. Keep your dreams to yourself, because they will shoot you down, and then you'll start to feel bad, like, you know, maybe this isn't a good idea. So just keep your dreams to yourself. Keep on working them. And your dream killer could be your mom. It could be your sister. It could be your husband. Just keep it to yourself and show them. You can show them better than you can tell them. And the next thing is, make sure in 2015 you connect with your Y sisters. It's several training videos on YouTube. Some of the leaders have training sites. Plug in with them. They're in the groups. Talk to them. Have accountability partners, like Brittany said. You gotta associate with them. Make sure you get to the convention in 2015 in Chicago. That's August, I think. That will completely explode your business. You got to get there. I know people say, well, I don't have the money. Start saving. Start saving. Do what you have to do to get there, because you have to be at the convention in Chicago. Make up your mind that I'm going to be there, and then it will happen. And the last thing is, don't worry about rank and color. I hear a lot of people saying about their rank, and I even say it sometimes too. Oh, I'm not this rank yet. But you never know. It depends on your goals. You might just have an income goal, and believe it or not, a pink could make more money in a month than a blue. It depends on how everything is set up in your business. But don't worry about rank so much. Just worry about what you want from the business, and then work it that way. And congratulate and celebrate the people that make it to the rank that they want to be, because if you do not celebrate other people's success, you are not going to get any success yourself. That's just the way it works. So those were my 3 points for the night. I want to thank you ladies all once again, and good night, everybody. Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.